Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video, and today is going to be a challenge, maybe a little bit of a tutorial. I'm sure you probably pick up something from this today, but it's mainly going to be a challenge, and let's see if we can get it done. So I've already started off on the wrong foot in that customer was supposed to leave some materials here and they're not here. Typical when customers are sourcing stuff. So that might put me back today as far as me getting it finished, but I'm going to try my best. So let me show you guys the situation that we've got here today, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to fix it. All right guys, so what we have is a shower cubicle. So we have shower cubicle, a corner shower. So you've got one fixed glass here, which is interestingly goes inside the ceiling. If I had to cut the ceiling for it to go inside here, because the ceilings are sloping on this side. And then you've got a door on the left hand side. Now situation is, this is a rental property, so I have kind of a day to get this done because we need to get a shower back in here. So what we have is a couple of things. So one, there was some leaking in this shower, I think leaking downstairs. So I'm not sure what the situation is. I need to assess this. So I need to take the glasses out. I need to take the tray out. There's a new tray going in, there's new glass going in. And also I think I might have to rebuild this. Let me just show you guys. I might have to rebuild the bottom part. Seems like they've broken the side to probably sort the leak out. It was tiled. I need to retile that now. Customer already told me when I've got here, well, when I've contacted the landlord, they're supposed to leave some tiles here for me. They're supposed to leave some adhesive, they're supposed to leave some silicone, and none of those things have been done. So the only thing we have here is the tray and the screen. So we're gonna have to source some tiles out. Gonna get some timber probably. These are probably rotten, and silicone, adhesive, all that stuff. So more running about. Maybe have to change some of the waste piping if it doesn't line up where the new tray outlet is, which is in there in the corner on this one. So basically I've got to take this all out, take this tray out. Also you can see how, you might be able to see how thick that bead of silicone is, because apparently the tray wasn't high enough and there was a big gap underneath those tiles. So we need to build a new platform so that the tray is tight up to those tiles, or a lot closer anyway, so we haven't got such a massive bead of silicone. And you can see how much mold we've got. Silicone attracts mold, so you want to keep your silicone down as low as possible, or small as possible. So this is what I got. Mammoth little task for me today. I got to try and get this done today. Yeah, and hopefully the new shower will fit inside that gap there, otherwise we have to cut another one out and probably fill up the old one. But yeah guys, that is it. So first things first is start taking this glass out, take this tray out, and then we're gonna see what's going on underneath. All right, first things first, we get this door off. See if we can get this door off. All right, let me just show you guys how you take these apart. So normally you've got this profile here, which screws to the wall. Then it has a channel, and then this slides into the channel. This is the door profile. Slides inside that channel, and then what you normally do is you drill a hole. You get it level wherever it needs to be, and then you drill a small hole through there, and then you screw it in, and then there'll be a couple of those down here. In the corner, you have a similar thing here where you join the left profile and the door profile together. As you can see, it slots in this little channel, and then you drill and screw it. Whoever's installed this did not drill or screw any of it together. So this whole thing here is separating, and it was never screwed together, which is crazy. So this has never been installed properly. And then the left hand side here, again, we've got screws into here, and then you screw the profile. So they started drilling here, but they didn't screw that one. They've put one in there, and they've put one in down the bottom there. So that one's not too bad because it's kind of secured up there, but this is crazy that this has not been screwed in. So things you find on site. So I'm going to screw the ones on that wall here, then this one, and cut the silicone here, and this should come out, and the other one should come out, and that will be our screens out.
Looks like somebody's glued this to the wall as well. It's a great start today. Oh dear. They have definitely glued this to the wall. So we've got to try and get this off without breaking any tiles. Got a huge hole in the floor as well. This whole bathroom needs redoing, to be honest. Because that floor is a contraption there. Looks like the floorboards are rotten or something under there and the tiles are caving in. There we go. Somebody put a bead of silicone at the back as well and glued it on. Alright, see if we can get this next one off. Get this out of that ceiling. I didn't realise they had a bath in here, so I'm not under as much pressure. If we can't get it done, finished today and all sealed up, then at least they've got a bath that they can use in the meantime, and this can get finished tomorrow. But I'm gonna try and see if we can get it done today. At least get it all sealed up so it's all ready and can be set and be used tomorrow. But we shall see what we find. Sure, this one will be glued on as well, and this one actually goes up inside there, so it'll be a bit more difficult to get this one off. Okay, there we go, that wasn't too bad. We got a lot of silicone to clean off. Everywhere, silicone everywhere. And this is the second screen that's been installed here, because there's different wall plugs in different places behind here. So I think this is the second one. So this will be the third screen going in there for some reason. It looks like you've always had problems with this shower. That's what happens when it's not installed correctly in the first place. Whew, and guys, all right, broke a little sweat there. So I managed to get the screens out and the tray out. And yeah, water's been getting in the back of this for ages. The plywood that's on there is completely rotten. It does look like the main timbers are okay, it looks like for me, but the plywood that's boarded on top is completely rotten. So I'm gonna rip that out and have a look at the timbers underneath. And hopefully we just need to get some ply and reply the top of that. The actual tray, when I took the silicone, the big bead of silicone off, there was another bead underneath it. So actually the tray is actually at the right level. It was only about 3-4 mil gap, so that's fine to silicone properly. So I'll be doing that. So we don't need to raise anything because I believe the tray that we've got is the same tray that's already there, although I will check and confirm that. So hopefully we can put it in at the same height and not have to raise it up anymore. But I'm going to show you guys what it's looking like and how much mess this water's caused. All right guys, so here we go. Here's the tray that I've taken up, the old tray, and there's the screens and stuff. I've taken all the silicone off the walls, scraped it all off. But this is what we have left, so you guys can see how rotten this has been under here. We've even got some stuff growing under here. This has just been saturating. Water's been getting in the back of this at some point for a long time. It's just been getting in the back and obviously getting onto the boards. So as I said, this board's here, this is the ply. You can see the state of this ply. It's all just broken into bits. It's all rotten. The plywood's completely rotten. So I'm going to rip it all out, clean up the area, and then we'll inspect the timbers underneath, and we'll see whether or not we need to change those. All right guys, so you guys can see I've taken this out, and to be honest, I'm going to get rid of all of it because you got stuff growing on it, mold growing on it. So we're going to get rid of all of this, clean up this whole area, get rid of everything that's basically wet and damp in there. Now we've come up with another thing which is typical again. Landlord said that the new tray was the same height, so it should fit the same height. It isn't. So if you look at this one here, this tray is quite thick. It's about 8 centimeters high, 80 mil, and then he's got a thin low profile one here, which is about 35 mil. So we've got 45 mil to make up, if I'm correct. So that means that the new base is going to be higher. So I needed to get timber anyway. So I'm going to have to measure this now and add 45 mil on whatever the original height timber was, so that I can get the right size timbers to get in there to make this fit. So I'm going to do the measurement on that now, clean this up, and then I'm going to shoot off to get some timber so that we can rebuild this new frame. All right guys, so I'm back. I had to go and get some materials. I went and got some timber, a whole load of stuff. I actually realized I needed some rubble bags, so I went to get that. So as I said, I've taken this base out, but actually looking further, the subfloor, someone's done some patchy stuff under there. I'm going to show you this, but I think I need to take this whole subfloor off, just rip everything out, because it's just completely terrible and there's just nothing stable to screw the new timber frame down to. So the timber frame that was built by the last person, they didn't screw it down. It was just floating, which obviously causes it to move, which obviously will affect the ceiling around it. So I think they just didn't screw it down because the subfloor was just so bad, there's nothing to screw onto. So I think we just need to do this thing properly. So it's taking longer, it's becoming a bigger job. I did say to the client that once I take this out, I'll have to know what's going on under there. But I'm going to show you what's there now, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to be taking out. All right guys, so here we go. So you guys can see what I realized under this floor here, someone has done. You can see the state of this thing, is they have used some sort of material which looks like roofing membrane under here and put it and glued it down to something. And when I try to rip it up, you can see the plywood underneath is completely rotten as well. So they've just covered this with some sort of roofing membrane. All that plywood there, I'm going to have to cut it all out and replace it. I've got some OSB in the van, so I'm going to see if I can use that to create a little sub base underneath, and then I'll have and screw that down to the joist. Hopefully the joists are not damaged. And once I screw that down to the joist, then I'll have something to screw my new timber frame to, so that it's going to be solid. So I'm going to get rid of all this stuff here, get that downstairs outside, and then I'm going to rip this all out and cut out all this old ply floor that's there. So we got more issues we're finding here, because as they said, the guy said he's just having leaks for a while, and I've checked the waste on here, and this is just loose as hell. It's just coming off. So I reckon that, and it's been cut sort of at an angle as well, so it's not really sealing properly. So I think this has been leaking here as well, which has been causing a lot of the water when they use the shower I think it's more likely been leaking from there than the seal, because apparently people have come out loads of times to sort this out. They did the sealing and all that stuff. This has still been leaking, so I reckon this has been leaking from the joint here, which is quite bad. There's all cement around it, so all tile adhesive, so you can't even tighten it. So this looks like it probably is the culprit, because I was starting to suspect there might be a leak in the waste pipe or something, because there's a waste joint there. So I'm going to run the bath and see if anything is leaking, because also this should be flowing to the left. It should be flowing to the left, shall I say, but to me that looks like it's leaning to the right. So I reckon that this probably sits full of water, and I bet you anything the bath doesn't drain very quickly. So that might be one of the issues, that whoever's installed this in the bath, that this is too low and should be higher up to the bath. So yeah, who knows, we shall see. So this damaged floor has gone all the way up to here. The floor's completely damaged here. Tiles caved in because the subfloor is obviously been rotten under here as well. So unfortunately, not really something I'm going to be able to deal with. I'm just going to have to deal with subfloor in that area, and they're going to have to really, I think, so many cracks in these tiles. I'm going to have to consider taking all this floor up, cutting out all the bad subfloor, re-plyboarding it, and retiling the bathroom. I'm going to suggest that to the customer and tell him that it does need to be done. Because any water, when you step out the shower, water's just going to fall down and go inside the gaps. And this is also unsafe because the subfloor is collapsing here. So more work on their hands there, but such it is when you leave things for too long. They end up costing you more money in the long run. So whenever you've got a water issue, water leaks, you need to deal with it very pronto. Just let them run that all up. This looks like some sort of, it might be plastic, some sort of membrane or something. We're gonna have to cut it out. For some reason, I cannot find my Stanley knife anywhere. So I have to use this. It's quite stiff, this material. This floor is getting worse and worse as I'm walking on it now. I think I'm going to have to replace a bit of this out here. It's literally going to fall down. These tiles are going to have to come up. What a nightmare. This is completely rotted through here. I need to fit this subfloor. I need to get to the next joist. So it probably means I've got to break some of these tiles out. So it looks like he's got a retiling job here in this bathroom. All because this was left too long or never fixed properly. So I did have some suspicions about this waste pipes as well. If you guys look at this one here, you notice this one right here, that is not secure. So that is probably leaking here. Could be leaking any of these as well. So, I mean, you can see I can twist this. So has definitely come loose here, and we need to check it where it goes in the wall here outside, because that is turning like crazy. So that was probably leaking there. There's one of the other places it was leaking, if not the only place. So I've got to look at that now and see what's going on outside, because that whole pipe is twisting. You can see, guys, I got to break these tiles off under the bath so that I can get to this joist, so I can get the plywood onto this joist here. All the board here is rotten. Try and do this with the minimal destruction to everywhere else. But obviously this has to come out. This is all rotten. So we have a joist right here. We can fit onto this joist. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 joists that we can now fit onto. This is just breaking. This plywood is just completely gone. Taking all this insulation out as well, which is just saturated. We can get everything out of here. So I think now this has a chance of actually drying out, taking out all this junk that was in there. These boards are soaked. All right, guys, so here we go. This is what we've got now. You can see I've taken it all the way to this joist here. So we've got 1 joist, 2 joists, 3 joists, and then we have 4 joists along here. So we've actually got 4 joists to get a nice piece of board onto that we can fix down to, and then obviously we will be able to screw our new shower base. I had to take it back a bit. This is the section I told you that was collapsing on the floor. I'll just show you guys here. So this is the extra section where the tiles broke out. So I'm going to board this little area here as well, but that's half of a tile being removed there. So this floor really needs coming back and just taking off the entire rest of the floor in here and just reboarding it all with plywood and then just retiling it. but what we're focusing on right now is this area. So we're going to try and see if we can get this area done. So next job is to cut some of that OSB that I've got and cover this whole area here, and then cover that little section here as well. And then we've got a nice solid base to work on. Then I'm going to work on trying to fix these pipes here. I'm going to have to see if I can take them apart and re-glue them and refit them in. All right, guys, I'm outside now. So you see where you've got this little spout here. This is where the shower and bath goes into that little hopper there. So you can't really see it, but the end of the pipe drops into the top of that. Might be able to see it from above. So that would turn anyway and twist and turn, so that's not an issue. So I just got to make sure it's facing the right way. It is currently facing down into it, so at least we know outside we don't need to do anything. So we just need to go inside now and sort out the joints. Woo, guys, so update. We have a sub based. Let me show you guys what we've got. All right, guys, here we go. We have a subfloor. So you guys can see I've screwed board down here, and I've screwed a section in here. This is where you step out the shower where the tiles was broken. So obviously there's a bit of a trip hazard here. So I might have to just put another piece of ply in there for now, just to get it up level with this. So at least we can have a flat floor here until they figure out what they're doing to this floor, because we don't have any of these tiles, so I can't retile it or anything. Yeah, so what I've done for now is to screw this down. I actually need to go get some more screws. I'm a bit short on screws because I need to build a frame and I need screws. Now, one of the challenges I'm going to have is this floor is sloping. Typical London houses, nothing's crooked, everything's crooked, joists are dropped everywhere. So the floor's actually leaning this way. So when I'm building this frame, I'm going to have this side higher to level with that side and all that. I'm going to have to get it because I need to get the shower tray level. Also, if you guys look here closely, you could probably see some water right here where that joint is. Even though no water's flowing, there's definitely water in the pipe. And obviously, since I've been working around and playing with it, water's been coming out from there. So I'm pretty sure this had been leaking there. So you see this is moving. So we need to sort that out, and I'm going to check all the corners and make sure all the joints are good. So yeah, that's it. So I'm going to quickly pop out and quickly get some more screws, and then we'll fix this pipe here. Then we can start building this base and get the shower tray in. Once we get the shower tray in, it's home free. The shower screen should be fairly easy and quick to do. So I'm going to pop off and get some screws and come back. So these joints all look good. It looks like the joints failed here. None of these joints are moving. This one isn't moving either. So we've got a failed joint here. So we're going to re-glue this joint here. None of the joints are moving, but I will just put a little smear all around them, just in case there's a little gap that I can't see moving or anything. But I tried to take them apart and they just won't come off, so they must be pretty much sealed up. this one here is good as well. This is something you can't access again once this is in, so I want to make sure that this is well sealed. And as I said, I'm pretty sure a lot of the leak was coming from here and just rolling down, because this floor is sloping. It's rolling down everywhere into here and down to the ceiling below. Right, so now we are ready. This is all being screwed down. We've got a nice solid sub base. We are going to now measure. We need to come up to here with our tray. So I'm going to measure there and see what timber I need to have to get myself right, because I want to get it slightly underneath. So also what I need to do is, we want to clean up some of this stuff around the edge here as well. So from this side, assuming this is level, just assuming, from this side we have exactly 19 centimeters from the sub base to the top of the tray. Here we have 21 centimeters, so we've got a 2 centimeter difference sloping this way. In this corner here we have 21 and a half. So we've got 19 there, it's the highest point, and it slopes down. So if we work with the highest point, we're going to work that way backwards. We've got 19 centimeters to play with. Our tray is 3.5, I think it was. Let me just double check that. Yeah, our tray is 3.5. We've got 19 to play with. We're going to give ourselves 0.5 centimeter gap for our silicone. So that gives us 4 centimeters. So we're going to take away 4 from 19. That gives us 15 centimeters. So our OSB is 18. 18 mil. So take away 18 mil from what did I say we had left? 115 centimeters, I said, I think. So I better start again. I'm confusing myself. This is why I should have my pencil with me. I should write this down. Right, we have 21 centimeters, which is 210 millimeters. We're going to take 40 millimeters away for the shower, including our little silicone gap. That leaves us with 150 mil. 150 mil. Take away 18 mil for the ply. That gives us 132, if I'm correct. So our timber frame needs to be 132 millimeters or somewhere around that. So I'm going to see what size timber bits I've got here. I do have some 2x4, which is 95, which is the same as what was there before. I've got some bigger pieces here, which are 140, and we need 128. So it's a little bit too high. So I could shave it down a little bit, because as I said, that's the highest part, or the highest part. So we actually need a bit more when we get down here. So I might try to shave it at an angle so that I can keep in line with this. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to cut a piece off first, and I'm going to set it here, and then I'm going to work and see how much difference I need to shave off at an angle here. So we'll probably start it right in front of this pipe here, if you guys can see. We'll start it right in front of this pipe. We're going to screw it onto this joist here. Bear in mind, always remember where your pipes are. I know where the pipes are here. I measured out where they were, so, and where they're running across on this section. So remember where your pipes are. I know that they are 30 centimeters from the wall. That is where I got to stop. and then I can screw again after 50. So between 30 and 50 is a no-go zone for me. And on this end, I know it's between 10 centimeters and 30 centimeters. So we're going to start here and we will end about here. Let's say 74 centimeters. So I'm going to go cut first bit of timber. So there's our first piece, 74. And let's see what we have under here. So we currently have 4.5. So we'll need to shave a little bit off the bottom here. And this end we have 6.5. So we've got a 2 centimeter gap. I was unprepared to do all of this today, but let's see what we can do. Tiny bit more. Perfect. That's exactly where we want it. So that should probably be about 2 centimeters. Spot on, 2 centimeters. So this is where we want this to be right now. And we have 5 here. 5 with 4.5 here. So I won't be surprised if this isn't level. The tiles isn't level. Probably isn't. Yeah, it's not. It is off. That's under the tile, touching under the tile here. And we've got about half centimetre gap here. Oh dear. Nothing is straight here. So what I'm thinking is I might end up not putting the tray back underneath. It might have to sit on the edge of it here because this is all crooked. And I'm assuming that is as well. So I might just have to have it sit slightly in front of this. We've got enough space here to work with it anyway, so it should be fine. That way we don't need to worry about it fitting directly under here. So at the moment, by the time we've put the ply on and we put our tray, we'll come just above this line. So I think we might just go with that and set the tray slightly just above that line and butt it up to those tiles. That's what we're gonna have to do. I like to get it underneath the tiles, but this is just how we're gonna have to do it here. Right, so we've got 2 centimeter gap here for difference. So I'm gonna mark 2 centimeters on this end and I'm gonna rip it down to nothing on here, and that should get us straight up there. So what I did is I ripped this little piece off 2 centimeters down here, down to nothing on that side, and that should give us a level surface now on this side here. There we go. So we're level here. So what we're gonna do is we'll work with this one here. I'm gonna have to measure another one, measure them individually to make sure, because the slopes are all different everywhere, till I get them all level. Once I've got them all level, I'll screw them down. I'll put some noggins in between just to give them strength. Then we'll put some more OSB on top of that, and then we've got our base for our shower to go on to. So we are update, and time update is 3:30. So this is where we're at 3:30. I did go for lunch as well, so we're kind of ish on track, but now it looks like I've been set back a little bit because I need to get some more materials. I'm going to show you why. All right guys, so this is where I'm at so far. So I've built this frame here. You guys can see I've used like 2x6 and this stuff is solid, so it's not moving anywhere. The last one, as I said before, it wasn't screwed down. I just literally, when I took the shower tray up, I just lifted it, the whole thing off, and it just came off. So this has now been screwed down, and I tried to screw it down where I could get it through the OSB and into the joist where it lined up as well, so just get it in really strong. So that's done. You can see I've done the outlet here. I've left a little space here for us to get in to do the connection underneath. And if you need to service it. But also what I'm going to do, instead of tiling, because we haven't got the tiling the side, I've got some window board, so we're going to use some of that window board. I'll show you what that looks like. We're just going to glue it on some of this stuff here. It's a PVC window board. Just for now, we'll just use some of that. We'll cut it to size around the sides here and glue it on. It'll be easy to take it off. So what's happened now, the OSB that I had with me was for me to use on top of that. Obviously I used most of it as the subboard, which I didn't anticipate. So what I've got is not enough to cover this, and I need to give it 2 layers of it to get to the height that I need, or 1 layer if I cut some strips and screw some strips on there and then put another layer. So I need to quickly shoot off around the corner and get another bit of OSB so that I can cut around that, screw that down. Once I've screwed that down, we can put the tray on, connect the waist underneath, and use some, I've got some CT1 here as well, which you guys can see. I'm gonna bond it down to the OSB. Once that's in, we can start putting the screen in and silicone everything up, and then that should be it. All right guys, I'm back. So I got some more timber, and what I did in the meantime with the leftover scraps that I had is I basically just screwed a strip on each of these just to raise these up by 18 mil, and then that allows me to just get 1 sheet on top. So I'm going to screw that sheet on top now, then we'll put the base on, we'll mark out the hole, we'll cut the sheet out of the hole so we can get the waste through the hole into the shower tray, and then we're going to bond it down. There we go, nice and solid base. And it's pretty much how we want that in the corner. So I just need to now mark this out, the waist out, and then we can cut that out and we're good to go. What I want to do is make sure my waist fits. So you've got a rubber seal for the bottom, the thicker one, and a rubber seal at the top. I will still put some silicone around the bottom as well, just to, I like to be safe. So I need to cut this hole a bit bigger because it's hitting it. There we go. Right, so because of the new location of the waist, which is slightly further that way, this pipe is now too short. So I had to go to the shop. That's the 100th trip up and down today. But luckily there's a plumber's merchants literally 2 minutes down the road. So I got one of these, a longer one, 500mm. See if we can get this one. And we no longer need to use this little extra piece, which is another potential leaking place. This one goes straight into the trap. So this one will do the job. There we go. Actually, I'm going to cut this straight because whoever cut this the last time, you can see this is the other piece that they cut from it. Can you see how they've cut that at an angle, which is not a good idea. You can see this is the piece where they cut that from here. So I'm going to cut that straight so that seals properly. Whoever did this the last time, this shower, they was really rushing. Right, that's a lot better. There we go. So you only need to hand tighten this. Don't be tempted to use grips on it because you'll just make it out of shape and it won't seal properly. So nice and tight with your hands, and that's it. So this comes with this little elbow bit, gives you a little bit of angle to angle it down, because we need to angle it down as well. So we'll put that in, and we'll probably angle it like sort of like this. Make sure that goes right in, and then tighten up. So it's going to sit something like this underneath the shower tray. We twist it straight like that so we get our slope down, and then nip this one up. Go. Okay. Nice solid base. Cool. Now time to put some adhesive on this. grab nicely. So now we're going to put this waste in. I'm going to put a little bit of sealant around this. As I said, extra precautions. If there's any slight deformity in the rubber, it's going to make sure it fills that little gap up. A little bit underneath, and then I'll put a little bit on top as well. Just a bit. Alright guys, so here's our tray. We got our waste in, as you can see. We got our little access here, and our waste is up inside there. You might be able to see it, might not be able to. In there, and it's all connected in, and everything's good. So that's all nice and tight up. So now we can start fitting the shower screens. So what I'm going to do quickly now is I usually put a little bit of bead of silicone just underneath where the screen is going to be, so that you get that little bit sealed in there. Just a little bit here, same thing in that corner over there. Then we'll fit these sides in, and then when everything's in, then we'll silicone all the rest of it. Right, so we got these profiles just like what the old ones were, pretty much a similar sort of thing. Obviously we got the situation where we've got to get it through the hole. It should go back in this pretty much the same place, so it's going to go through slightly into the ceiling, which it seems to fit perfectly. And we basically need to drill and screw that to the wall, roughly about there. We sort of test fit this. This is gonna go this is going to be the tricky one to get inside here. What I'm going to have to do is put this profile in first and see if I can slot the whole thing into the ceiling at the same time, and then I'll have to drill it and screw it. So let's see if we can do that. So it looks like the glass is a little bit taller, which means we got to open this up a little bit more. So my tape measure gone now, just had it. We are talking about 190 centimeters. We got 184 here. 190 is going to be probably way out here. We got to cut this all the way up to about here. Hopefully there's no joist there. I would imagine the joists are running that way. So I need to open this up further. Just a little bit more. Whoever done the filler here, this is all just crumbling everywhere. It's done quite poorly, so it's gonna need to be filled up and done properly. This whole ceiling needs painting anyway, so this is what we're working with, guys. Yeah, I mean, this is all falling apart. And these bits, chunks of filler. So looks like it needs a bit more. We are 2 centimeters from touching the tiles of the roof. It's that close to get this to fit. There we go, we got it in. So, there we go. This is the first part of the glass in, you guys can see. And if you look at the top, you can see how much I had to cut that in, because this glass is definitely taller than the other one. Even though we've come up by only, I mean, you can see where the last shower tray was, the top of it. So we're only up by less than a centimeter, but I've had to cut probably, I don't know, I had to cut another 20 mil up, 20 centimeters up to get this in, because this screen is a lot taller than the previous one. So that's in temporarily. We'll level it up, and then we'll drill that and screw it in. And then we're gonna test the shower door, make sure that fits in as well, make sure everything fits, and then we can screw it all together. Right guys, quick update. So we have got this profile screwed into the wall, so I just drill through the existing holes that are already in the profile. There's 3 holes, you mark them up, make sure this is all nice and level. I drill through the tile, put some wall plugs in, screwed it in. Then I screwed the door to the profile. It just slides in here. Make sure it was level this way, because this wall is out, it's not level. Make sure it's level here, and then marked it and screwed it. You might not be able to see, but you can see how far these tiles are away from the wall. It gets thin here, it gets thick here. There's all sorts of stuff. I believe there's tile on top of tiles on here, because it's just the only thing that makes sense why there's such a big gap here. And I wouldn't be surprised from what I've seen here so far. So what I need to do now is screw this door to that profile, get it level, and then we get this corner level. This was, if you remember, the last door that was in, they hadn't screwed this together, so it was just moving. We're gonna level it like that, and then we're gonna drill 3 holes in the back. Sometimes these kits come with the drill bit, the right size drill bit. I think it's a 3mm bit. It didn't come with one, but I had one. You drill a hole in the aluminium from the other side, and you put these little screws that come in with little caps and cover it up. So next is to level this side, this glass panel to that wall, and that looks like the bottom could go in slightly there. That's about spot on right there. So I'm now going to go inside, drill those 3 holes, and then screw it up. It's quite tight, so it's not moving, which is good. So all I'm going to do is drill these in, put some screws in. There's one at the top, but that's way up in the ceiling, so I'm gonna have to re-drill one just above here. And the one at the bottom's already pre-drilled. Simple as that. Not sure if you guys will see, but you get this little screw with this washer. You screwed it on, and then there's this little chrome cap that covers the screw, seals it up, makes it look good. So it is currently about 6:30. So I spoke to the tenants and asked them if it was okay for me to work late. They said, yeah, no problem. They want it done, obviously, so they have no problem me working away in here. So yeah. Wow, guys, so for the last hour and a half, I had to put the camera down because I'm racing against time. I couldn't really film too much, but I'll quickly talk you through what I've done and show you what time it is. Today started off supposed to be like a half-day job for me. It's ended up being a crazy long day, but I have got it done. I'm confident that the shower will be working fine, no more leaks, but obviously they got more sort of repair work to do in here. But let me show you guys the time, and I'll also show you what we've done. And also shout out to the follow that I saw today, the next door neighbor who noticed me outside. He watches us on YouTube as well, so shout out to him as well, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So yeah, let's check it out. So guys, that is the time, 8:15. 8:15. I thought I might have finished by 7 at some point, but here we go, 8:15. But guys, we are done. So what did I do that you didn't get to see? I did the silicone of the shower all the way around here and all that. Also, I fitted the panels that I mentioned. I just basically glued those on around to the side here. That's all I could do really. I had that, and I just kind of had that in advance, so I just fitted that for them. Silicone all around inside the shower as well. This is all done. Put the magnets on. So this is sort of magnetic. It closes. Put the rubber seals and so on, and that's pretty much what I was able to do for them today. So as I said, and also I patched up the floor as well with a bit of OSB, which basically come pretty much level with the tile. 2 layers of OSB. At least there's no, at least you're not going to fall through the floor like was happening before. But obviously they need to retile in here and take all of this up really, and just do this whole bathroom. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I came to sort out, get them a working shower that doesn't leak, and I've managed to do that. So that is my job done for today. Hey guys, so I've packed up, I've swept up, I've packed all the tools in the van, so I'm ready to go now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give us a like. Also comment and let us know what you think. I will see you guys on the next video. Take care. Thanks for watching.